Here is a topical example of using the influence story. I'm going to assume that I have met someone in a social situation who has told me that they don't believe in vaccination. In fact, they are anti-vaccination. We call those people anti-vaxxers. And my personal belief is that vaccination is in the community best interests, and people that don't vaccinate are free riders. They're not participating in a way that can protect the whole society. Now, it wouldn't help to have a logical argument to such a person. I'm pretty much sure of it. But I can follow the sequence of the influence story, and it starts with understanding, using a story-seeking question. So we'll go, oh really? What's happened? What happened to make you have that belief? Because I don't know what's happened. Maybe they had a relative or a baby die from a vaccination. Who knows? It does happen. It's extremely rare. But what is the thing that makes them believe that? What's happened to them? But let's just say they'd come back and say, well, you know, that's my belief. I've been doing some research. That's what I think. And then I'm thinking, yes, your research has been on YouTube and maybe you didn't get the best information. So now I'm going to use the influence story to put a different viewpoint. So I would say, look, I acknowledge that people are worried about the safety of vaccines, and that's understandable. But you know, back in 2018 in the Samoan Islands in the Pacific, there was a terrible accident in one of the hospitals. A nurse accidentally mixed the vaccine for measles, mumps and rubella incorrectly. The nurse made a mistake, injected 2 babies, and sadly they died. And because of that accident, which was nothing to do with the vaccine, the idea that vaccination was unsafe and that you shouldn't vaccinate your child went like wildfire all over the Samoan Islands. And the vaccination rate went way down to nearly 30%. Only 30% were getting vaccinated of new babies. And then in late 2019, there was an outbreak of measles, and more than 50 babies died at that time. So you see, you can be worried about a very rare accident, but if you don't have the community vaccinated, the results are much worse. And a typical mother in that situation deciding against the safety of the vaccine for their child versus the community being vaccinated would be far better off in a community that's fully vaccinated. So whilst it might look like it's not safe for your baby, that you have fears and risks, the safety of the community is much higher when everyone vaccinates. So that's the influence story. Starts with the story-seeking question, acknowledge the fear but don't agree with it, tell a story example, then reframe.